What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part, I want to say 43, somewhere along those lines, of my Total Warhammer 3 Kairos Fateweaver Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Garrulus once again fought more orcs over at Iron Rock, defeated them, and is now moving forward even further north. In fact, it looks like the Bloody Hands are pretty much broken. They do remain alive, but their one single army is probably not going to stall our advance much. In addition to that, Iber is moved north as well, and he is now sieging Ackendorf, which we will be taking shortly from the ogres. And finally, we've pretty much completed our preparations for the attack, or for the end game scenario. The end game is nigh, or at least the end game scenario is nigh. Kairos is here with his newly souped up army. Should be a pretty interesting time, and I'm pretty excited for it. So we just gotta do the buildings and attack Ackendorf, and then we'll be good to end the turn and see that end. Alrighty, so here we go. We got 2 enemy reinforcing the armies plus the garrison to fight. It is going to be a Pyrrhic victory with high casualties according to the auto-resolve counter, and it should actually be decently difficult, mostly because we don't have any ideal sort of units for fighting stuff. We also have the Nobbler scrap launchers to contend with, and I think we may actually want to fight these armies as they move onto the field rather than allow them to get artillery usage, so that'll be part of the strategy. Also, just to double check, yes, we can level up a little bit, so we probably should. Now, you have who? Few of the infantry units would benefit. Okay, so if they would benefit, unfortunately the knights will not, but oh well. Alrighty, so we'll do this rally, and then we'll go Legion of Doom for the little bit of extra buffs for those units, and Stand or Die. Good. Yeah, then you, what spell do you not have? Okay, so you have basically all the spells except Gehenna's Golden Hands. Do we want Gehenna's Golden Hands for this? Not really, but there's not really anything else to get, as I still haven't decided on the locusts that we want here. And lastly, Jaeger, you can have, let me see here. Probably gonna have to be Infernal Gateway as well. Wait, can you use Treason of Tzeentch? I don't remember. Yes, you can. You cannot use Pink Fires, and you cannot use Glean Magic. Oh, you can't use Glean Magic. Okay, so maybe we'll take Glean Magic instead. Likelihood of using it, pretty negligible, but to be perfectly honest, same with Treason of Tzeentch, so Iber can use it. We definitely won't need to. Also, before I forget, I wanted Vindex to probably have a couple of iridescent horrors in here as well, so let's just check out if there's any decent ones here. We got a Weapon Master and we got an Intelligent one. Honestly, I'm not big on either one of them. Kinda meh.
Such prismatic
And now that I'm thinking about it, the Screamers of Tzeentch were units that we would be using to take out artillery, for example, but Pink Horrors on Burning Chariots, as dangerous as that might be able to handle that for us.
marvelous.
I know, we'll have to think about it, but either way, I think these ones aren't good enough. Oh, I don't want to waste money on changing them out yet, though. Not like this. Weapon Master? You know, take the Weapon Master for now, and then we'll see if we get a better one. Also, you, Vindex, our Tzeentch Herald, you are a Herald of Tzeentch, yes. So we should probably get a an Iridescent Horror of Metal. So one of you, let's say the Pinioned guy. You're the Pinioned guy, right? Yes, we're gonna delete you so that maybe you get replaced by a better one. Honestly, it may even be better to get 2 of those, 2 metal ones rather than another Tzeentch one, just to get Glittering Robe repeatedly up, as it's quite useful on the horrors who have very, very low armor. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get the battle against Ackendorf going. Here we go.
In my power.
Alrighty, Iber's stealthily making his way over the walls, and unfortunately for the enemy, there is a relative blind spot that they've got here. We were even able to Vanguard deploy Screamers all the way around here. Anyway, looks like we've got a bunch of ogres to fight. Iber is truly the jack of all trades here, as he has fought so many different factions over the course of the campaign, and since he's evolved. But he's going to open up the battle against the Disciples of the Maw in the city, annoying them there, while our main army is going to deploy out here to meet and greet the reinforcements coming in. Looks like the enemy is going to use that Stonehorn charge over our pink horrors, although kind of a weird... Why wouldn't you do this, like... Really? Okay, they should have programmed this to try to do this parallel, and I know for a fact that they did program the AI to use winds and stuff to try to hit multiple enemies. Why wouldn't you do that here? I guess that's battle AI or spell AI versus bound ability AI. Wonder why they would react different. Anyway, that was a bizarre use. They could have done more damage. It wouldn't have done any damage to us here specifically because it wouldn't get through the barrier. But you know, if this was a different non-Tzeentchian army, it could have very well done damage. Especially to weaker units. You disappoint me, AI. Oh, wow. Just pulping goblins there. Or nobblers, rather. Actually, these are goblins, not nobblers. I was just having fun. Oh, they have no chance against him. They do no damage to him, even to his barrier. Anyway, here we go. The reinforcements are arriving. We've been waiting, and now they're here. The pink fires are going to open up on the first of the enemy units they see, which is a unit of Nobbler Trackers. At this time, while the rest of our army moves in nice, orderly ranks. Getting a little bit of pink fire, and pink-friendly fire, I should say. Also going to charge some Chaos Knights through our own ranks, which is partly why I moved them like that, so we had a little bit of space left. And we want to essentially get this Nobbler Scrap Launcher killed so that it doesn't trundle off and out of the map. Or off the map, rather. It does look like the enemy is going to try to continue moving past us with a few of our units. The Giant isn't actually committing to the fray, even though it probably could be fairly useful against some of our units here. And the enemy has ran with a few of its units of Ogre Bulls, plus its Lord and its Mournfangs, to try to get into the city. That said, they got stopped by one of our units of Chaos Knights, which did run ahead, and now Iber is here to make them pay for not fighting the main army. There we go. You sure you wanted to run here and face a Demon Prince? Because I'm not sure you did. There we go, Iber. Looks like he's going to knock some units around. Going to go for the enemy Lord, of course, so it'll take a while to bring him down, but he's a level 1. And, well, let's just say he has no chance of killing Iber. Going to get a few more units in, charging in the back with our additional units of Chaos Knights, sandwiching the army between our 2 units, plus the Screamers helping in the background, and as we can see, knocking those Ogres down with their anti-large. Also use the Gaze of Fate on Giant here to try to prevent him from joining the fray a little bit longer, which did seem to work out, though now that that spell is over, the Giant is here. Fortunately, the rest of the enemy units are all pretty much either dead or routing, and we'll handle the Giant in short order, I'm sure. Otherwise, the main enemy army that was coming in as reinforcements is pretty much dead. This was kind of... probably shouldn't allow our units to blob up like this. This would have been a really good use of the... even if it looks cool, would have been a really good use for the enemy to use their charge, the Stonehorn charge. Although, a lot of these units probably still have their barrier. Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything. Alrighty, and it looks like the Scrap Launcher is running, but in fact away from the map. We're going to give chase with our Knights, though at 70 speed, it's actually fairly unlikely, sadly, that they're going to catch it. Now, Iber is given up on killing the Slaughtermaster because he has a Giant to kill, while our Knights can kill the Slaughtermaster. I think this is probably a better use of our units, rock, paper, scissors-wise. And I'm not sure why the Giant is facing away. There he goes. Give it a try, at least. And Demon Princes are pretty big. I mean, not as big as Giants, but that's pretty damn big. And I imagine you're pretty much done here, 3000 HP. Actually surprised that you haven't routed. I thought the Giants should have... Well, actually, no, they are usually the last to rout, but it's also usually because they take the least damage, because they just have such an insanely huge HP pool. And are you done, buddy? I remember that certain artillery pieces, I don't know if it's all artillery pieces, can stagger giants, which I've always really enjoyed. I remember in my ancient, at this point, Balthazar Guild campaign, loving to use those Luminarchs of Kish specifically to hit giants, and I think the cannons did the same thing as well, where the giant would try to move and then get hit by those things and fall to the ground, only to get up and then instantly get hit again and just be unable to advance. Pretty funny. And, ooh, did he just get the last hit? Yeah, by the looks of it, he did. Well done, Iber. Nice little execution. I like how he flew in and just knocked the enemy lord out. Beautiful. Well, that was only the beginning, because the entire garrison still remains to be destroyed, plus the garrisoning army, so here we go. Unfortunately for the enemy, the AI is not very good at handling ogre armies and using them to actually defend the walled cities that they hold. I guess... for whatever reason, they programmed the Ogre AI to play differently, but, yeah, it's a bit odd, because it certainly has enough units that it could put on walls. It put one unit of goblins here, but look at all these nobblers and stuff, and probably other goblins that it has. It could have filled up this entire wall, and all three of these towers could have been firing this entire time. Of course, Iber did go up there, and maybe the AI was scared to proceed afterwards. I do know that, in this third game, the AI really likes to run off the walls as soon as you go up there with any flying units, so that they don't get wrecked up there, I guess. And look, the enemy lord is here with a few little bodyguards of iron guts. Should be fun for Iber. Still hasn't lost his barrier, though with the lord and his bodyguards fighting him, maybe he will take some damage. In the meantime, though, the rest of our army is moving in. We're going to split them off a little bit so that they can move through two gates at once. Both the gates, this one is open, but the other one's being attacked by our Chaos Knights, and we'll be able to stream in there as well. Our Chaos Warriors are moving in completely unharmed here. I can't believe the AI isn't going to block the gate. Seems like a mistake to me, because we're just going to be able to get so many more units in this way. And here comes a little bit of pink fire support. Could have obviously sent our pink horrors up the walls to fire down on the enemy, but it looks like they're doing a good job arcing over here. There we go. Feel kind of bad for those poor nobblers. Actually, are those gobos? No, those are nobblers. You can see from those little cooking pot helmets that they got. Not that that's the only distinguishing feature, mind you. And here comes the cultist. It's actually a sorcerer, not a cultist, but yeah. Got too used to cultists being on World Shrines, and hey, here comes some ogres to help their little Nobbler force, while the Nobbler force abandons their masters. And we're gonna get some bonks with the sorcerer. Definitely one of my favorite animations in the third game. There we go. I just love it when the sorcerers grip the rails and just start bonking people with their staffs. It's so good. In part because I spent a lot of game 2 talking about how it's bizarre that they didn't do any animations with like dragon riders and stuff, because specifically in the lore, like Imric literally has a lance, and in the lore, dragon riders use their lances all the time. And it always bothered me a little bit. Like, yeah, you probably aren't going to reach anything with your sword if you choose to bring a sword when you're riding the dragon, but High Elven Dragon Rider lances are literally made for combat on Dragonbag. It's a whole thing. I don't remember, but wasn't one of Malekith's dragons killed by a lance? Trying to recall here. Might have been somebody else's dragon, but anyway. Been a while since I've read the Malekith books. Anyway, let's see what we're looking at here, or the Sundering books, rather. Let's see what we're looking at here. Balance of power is about 75% in our favor. The enemy lord is pretty much done, and it is another level 1 enemy lord, though our lord has gotten a little bit damaged by the combination of the lord plus the Iron Guts. For a level 1 lord, 6340 melee attack and defense and 90 armor is pretty darn decent, I gotta admit. Tyrants are pretty good. In terms of their fighty ability, at the very least. But yeah, Iber should be able to bring him down. Otherwise, we've moved through the gate over on this side. Our Chaos Warriors have moved in. We've also moved some Knights in through this gate at the same time, together with our Screamers, and are just finding and killing any isolated units that these guys can get their hands on. More so to just speed up the battle a little bit. Alright, now we're relatively unsupported on this side, so the ogres have a better chance of damaging us, though the regular ogre bulls are probably not that much of a threat. And besides, we got magical support, even if we don't have Iber here directly. Here comes the Searing Doom in pretty large numbers. Overcast. In addition to that, we have the final transmutation upgraded going down. Enemies brought down to 0 armor because of the sundered armor, and a decent amount of damage looks like it's coming in between those two spells. I really love the graphical effects on the, well, the updated graphical effects on the Lore of Metal. They're just great. Tzeentch lore is definitely flashy and just looks pretty fantastic all around, but I don't know, there's something about the Lore of Metal that's also quite lovely. Anyway, there we go, decisive victory. Looks like the enemy is not going to continue fighting here because of army losses. The entire army will rout, and I guess the sheer amount of damage that forced all of these units to rout, or otherwise to lose an insane amount of HP due to it, force the entire enemy army to go. And plus, I guess the enemy lord got killed by Iber at the same time. Not too bad, not too bad. And I don't think we took too much damage. It is a decisive victory after all. Alrighty, well, that went pretty darn well. Alright, good job. Wow, damn, 22,000 damage on these Warriors of Tzeentch with halberds. Not surprising, considering they're anti-large, and the vast majority of the enemy were larger units, so that certainly worked out. And we're obviously going to take the place for ourselves. We may get sieged next turn by these armies, which will force us to suffer attrition, but then again, we may not. Who knows? And ooh, we got a Forbidden Rod out of it as well. A very nice pickup, which means more magic for our armies, and Tzeentchian armies can never have too much magic. I also just realized that we're not actually at war with Balthazar Gelt, which is surprising, but it will be beneficial to be at war with him, because farming Balthazar Gelt's plus armor trait is quite useful as well, especially on certain armies, like the, for example, I would imagine it'll be very, very useful on this army, because these guys lack a lot of armor. Yeah. Alrighty, also, before I forget, I've been wanting to use a force war between a couple factions up here, namely between Talzin and between Reichland, because Talzin is allied with Kurun, and they look to be pretty powerful. They've confederated Torgavon, and I'm not sure who's here, whether Vidrioth is still alive or not, but if they're not, then, well, they could be Talzin's as well. So changing the ways, force war, we might as well. I really hate having these guys, or this thing not on cooldown. And Talzin versus Reichland. Not that expensive at 18,000 either, so yeah, do that. Alrighty, and then just force all of these factions to dislike each other more and more. Yeah, it'd be nice to break some alliances shortly, but honestly, it takes so long to get the Grimoires. Now, that is done. Kairos, you have to stay where you are, and I think we're done everything but buildings, unless I'm mistaken, and based on what I was saying prior to the battle. So let's do the buildings, and then let's end the turn, and let's see how many enemies spawn. So Ogrel Migdal, will start with you. Get your walls up and running. Talan Mountains, money. Great Mortis Delta. I'd love to upgrade the Black Pyramid, but it'll cost a little bit too much right now, and I know that there's several places that have a few money-making buildings that can be built, like Lashik, for example. Although, no, you know what? Lashik, you can start with walls. Land of the Dervishes, there we go. This is a place, so you can have money and, well, more money. Good. Sudenburg. Golden Pass, no money here. Galbaraz, you need to be upgraded, though the cost is pretty severe. What can you do? Ice and Fire Plains, good. We're starting to run out of cash as well. So unless there's another money building, like, for example, here in Numos... There we go, and we're out of cash. Nothing else to be built. Oh well, not a big deal. This is where we end the turn, and then we see the end is nigh. We'll probably have to save the battles until the next episode, but we may want to wait a turn anyway, because we will be using the halt faction here. Will it be super necessary? I'm not sure, but we are about to find out. Skip the rest of this, end the turn, and here we go. I really do wonder how many armies will spawn, because if the Vlad campaign is anything to go by, every faction, every undead faction spawned 4 armies, so altogether they spawn 12. So if this is only one faction spawning them, will they all spawn that? Why would you end your non-aggression pact with us? Why don't you love us, Rakarth? You should really love us, because we're fighting your main enemies, which are way more powerful than you. You're strength rank 49. These guys are way better. I don't understand you, AI. I don't know what you're doing. But oh well. No big deal. We'll deal with them. Especially now that we have 2 armies down in Lustria, which means we'll be able to push forward. Honestly, it might even be beneficial to get a 3rd over there. Maybe attack Itza from the coast like this. Though, once again, we'll have to get our money back up and running. And it'll be 8 armies. Okay, fair enough. And that's a lot of Cameron War Sphinxes. Exiles, settlement besieged Ackendorf. Ah, they did indeed besiege us with this army. Oh, that's so annoying. This is just the AI being annoying to prevent us from healing and to cause a little bit of attrition. And this is stupid because this is absolutely suicidal. This army has absolutely no chance of winning or doing anything to us. I hate when the AI behaves unrealistically, you know what I mean? Like, a player would never do this because there's no benefit to it. Your army is essentially dead, and all of the money that you've invested into this army is gone as well, which is quite a bit. Unlike the AI, the player doesn't have infinite money, even with the decent amount of money that we're making. Anyway, settlement of besieged kayaks as well, and ooh, that prevents fire from healing, and he would have to fight 2 armies here. Itzan armies, but we do have our garrison, so damn, lots and lots of good fights coming up here. Pestilence scheme performed from Clan Scryer, and here we go, the Black Pyramid. The eternally damned spirit of Nagash curses the land once more. Legions of once interred skeletons rise to enact his will, the destruction of all who don't swear fealty to him. They must be stopped before the self-proclaimed god of the dead dooms us all. Swell. Alrighty, and mission issued, ultimate campaign victory, destroy or vassalize the following factions, the Sentinels. Alright, shouldn't be too bad, especially with Kairos here, and if we want, we can even use reinforcing armies as well. I'm not even sure that we need to halt this faction now that I think about it. And just to take a look at the armies... Oh, this one's pretty nice. 2 Bone Giants, 3 Tomb Scorpions, a Hyro Titan. That might be pretty difficult. Yeah, these 2 armies appear very strong. These 3, less so. Lots of infantry here. What about these 3? We got... This one's probably the weakest so far. This has got a decent amount of Ushabti. And this one has a bunch of Sepulchral Stalkers, huh? Okay, so these 2 are definitely going to be toughies, and we may even want to destroy 3 here. And then destroy these 2 with the support of these armies. Doesn't really... Well, I guess Voljax has to go north anyway. I don't think we'll be needing him here. Alrighty, well, let's complete our admin. We definitely don't have time to fight a full cinematic battle against 2 or 3 armies against Kairos, because that sounds like it would be a fairly long battle. But I would like to check out what's going on over here. First of all, destroy this garbage. So stupid. That's so stupid. Let's go for Devour Captives just to heal up. Gonna heal to full here. And I guess we could destroy the Ackendorf camp. I mean, we could also ignore it completely. No, we can't ignore it, can we? The problem is Ackendorf doesn't have the HP, does it? So I guess we have Garrulus take the Forest of Doom, and we have you destroy the Ackendorf camp. I did want Garrulus to go down to Carrick Drawn, and ooh, I just realized that there's an army at Black Crag as well, which is going to be problematic if we allow them to build up. I assume you can't get both Ackendorf camp and Forest of Gloom, right? Let's find out. Attack camp. Auto-resolve. And go for, let's say, heal again, just in case. And then, can you reach this? Yes, you can, with 1% remaining. Oh, beautiful. Faction destroyed, Disciples of the Ma. Oh, wow, I didn't even realize they were dead. And Helm of Discord is ours as well. Very nice. Very, very nice. And there's Clan Angrand, which are gonna have to be killed later. We can also auto-resolve this, because it's full of garbage. And, wow, we could sack it for 10k, very nice. But of course we'll keep it for ourselves. And province secured, Forest of Gloom. It's got some military buildings already built, interestingly. But, well, first of all, get the Mutilith prison formula, but I think we'll delete these buildings here. Because it'll take the place a while to grow, because it's only a 1 territory, and I'd rather make money out of it, rather than just a couple military buildings. Which means Garrulus, you... Ah, damn, you can't immediately jump to Carrick Drawn. Okay, fine, fine, fine. So we're gonna put you, let's say, right here. Or do we leave Carrick Drawn to last? Head to Iron Rock, maybe jump over to Black Crag? Yeah, maybe that's the way we do it, alright. Yeah, alright. March stands here to Iron Rock. Scarby is actually listening, so he's going for the Pillars of Grugni, which is fine. We can let him have Grugni and Mount Squighorn, and honestly, he can even have Karazagrak. I don't really care. It's only 1 territory. And if he gets some stuff here, and then we give him all the dwarven stuff, and then maybe some of these mountainous territories. Basically everything mountainous we'll give to him. I don't even know if Scarbrand likes or can colonize those, but, well, that's what we're going with. Otherwise, let's see who, if anybody else, needs to move. If we're not going to bother with Voljax, we're going to send him north directly, immediately, wherein he will transfer all the stuff that needed to Iber. A Recruiter of Fate, you're good where you are. Yartolk, you stay until, well, we get attacked by Itza. Oh, we can't see Itza anymore either. Oh, okay, that needs to be... Oh, wow, we can't see anybody. Okay, first of all, Itza, yes. Then, wait. We can see Cult of Sotek. Oh, did I just reveal their intentions instead? That's my bad. I meant to reveal their shroud. Not that it's bad to be seeing the intentions of Itza. Then we want to see... We want to see the Bloody Hands, I guess. And we probably want to see Clan Angrand now, just in case... Well, we're not at war with them. But I would like to see what's going on in their territory. And again, I suppose the same thing goes for the dwarfs, but the other dwarfs, I mean. Just in case, Clan Angrand. We see the Bloody Hands, we can see what's going on here. And I guess those are the only factions that we need to see, right? Yeah. Alrighty, well, that looks good to me, or at the very least, it ain't so bad. Let's just complete the moves, let's do the admin, and then we'll end off the episode, and then we will... yeah, also you go here. And then we will start next episode with lots and lots of battles. At the very least 2, I think. Maybe we'll mix it up with having the garrisons here fight 1 battle, and then Kairos against the Sentinels. But at the very least, the... I forgot the name of the thing again. Every time. What is it called? Ultimate Camp... Black... Oh, it's just called Black Pyramid of Nagant. Okay, that's just lazy. You, Lucas. You were headed out to join Iber, so away you go. And Raptool 9000. You were here temporarily in case we don't get a better one. Oh, we got a Confident guy. Yeah, you know, Confident isn't too bad. Oh, there's another Weapon Master. We could have 2 Weapon Masters just for the fun of it. Well, we don't need more than 2, though. So, I guess we're gonna go with the Confident one, and then if we get a better one, we get a better one. don't necessarily need to be in this particular army right now either. But either way, we'll most likely have you move next turn, or this turn actually, just next episode. Fire, you're good. Kronos, you're sort of good. I'd like to head you towards fire, but I feel like if we do, Tehennewin's going to start moving for the Dusk Peaks, and he can obviously take it. Even with our walls, the garrison here is just atrocious. Yeah, so I feel like... removing walls on minor settlement, or were we ever able to get walls? Maybe we were never able to get walls. I don't know. But for Tzeentch in particular, an unwalled settlement, like with this absolutely garbage garrison, just seems very weak. Like, it's one of the few factions where it almost feels like there's absolutely no point to walls now, and that they don't do anything. Because Tzeentch always had a kind of meh garrison, but you can't hold ground with this, like, at all. You just have one unit of Forsaken with a maxed out settlement and with a maxed out wall. Just one unit of Forsaken to hold a choke point. The blue chorus and pink chorus can't hold it. So yeah, kind of disappointing there. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, I think with that I'm gonna call it here. There's a little bit of money remaining, but I don't want to spend it because, well, we'll get a lot more money once we send Kairos. Next time, Kairos will be fighting some Tomb Kings as we fight around the Black Pyramid of Nagash and try to clear it out, as well as probably this battle against the forces of Itza, because, well, they're here and we may as well fight them, and we got plenty more lizards coming. Look at all that. Damn. Oh, that should be a fun time, so stay tuned for more Kairos. Let me know if you guys have any ideas about what the end game of this particular campaign should be, as we gotta figure out what we're exactly headed towards, especially after defeating the Black Pyramid forces. Gotta figure out what we want to achieve here to finalize the campaign, because we're starting to get to the point where none of the factions that we face are really all that threatening. At least so far. I mean, certainly we're still having some great battles wherein we take a lot of damage, like with Garrulus. But, well, to be fair, his army is also relatively non-elite compared to a bunch of other armies, because, well, he's using a lot of tier 2 units. But anyway, I digress once more. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.